What is going on, everybody? Jumbo Thick here. We are back with more Whispers from the Stars. This is our 5th edition D&D campaign from the my homebrew world of Emberfell. I am, of course, your GM, your DM for the night, Jumbo Thick. And I'm joined by the Emberfellas, because we have yet to come up with something better. So I think this is going to be
There's nothing better. There's nothing better. The Emberfellas is
the Emberfellas. The Emberfellas. And we have all of them here. Tuk stepped away for a second, but we will go counterclockwise from me, which will bring us to the man with the plan, the Big Dan. If you care to introduce yourself, sir, and your character.
Hey, everyone. Dan Decker here at DanDeckr on Twitter, playing Zalkar Krugen, a jailer of secrets from a worshiper of Elysia. And I scour the world looking for things that might not be too wise to have out in the world to be known by the regular folk. And I was on a mission to reclaim a couple of my sisters, but that didn't go as well as we could have hoped. Anyway, Zalkar is a paladin, kind of a grayish skin. He's been touched by some dark magics, perhaps, and some markings on his face. He can perhaps slip into the shadows and look like perhaps whoever he might need to be from time to time. So you never know where he'll turn up.
Indeed. Speaking of, you never know where they'll turn up, go to Mr. Jumbo Smooth, also known as Rogar.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jumbo Smooth, also known as Matt. I'll be playing Rogar. Rogar is a dragonborn barbarian from the north. He is very new to this dynasty, this part of the world, so he's very ignorant on a lot of things. He doesn't understand certain concepts. Currency is a big hurdle for him. This honor that everyone's talking about, not quite sure what that is. He's learning a lot of things in this campaign, so we'll see how he changes as time goes on.
Speaking of changing as time goes on, let's go to old Jeff, old Tuk.
AKA at Mr. Funk Trunk.
Funk Trunk.
Yeah, so I'm Jeff, and I'm playing Tuk the Taker, and he is a goblin that is awesome. He's a rogue. He's a little crazy sometimes. He's got a good heart, though. He's a member of the Mar, and he's got a blue eye, a green eye. He's a rogue. Did I already say that? He likes to shoot stuff, and he likes to slink in the shadows and makes questionable decisions sometimes. So
yes.
But he's got a good heart,
Yeah. Speaking of someone who makes questionable decisions and has a good heart, Alan, Doobie209.
Bad. That's a bad tie-in.
Bad tie-in.
What's going on, everybody? I am playing Dayu, a 40-year-old hobgoblin who is basically the complete opposite of Tuk. He's a man with honor. And not a shady past. Monk? Did I say monk?
You did not, but now we know.
I'm pulling Tuk already.
I'm pulling it already.
40-year-old man, so he's the elder statesman of the party.
He is.
And I just can't wait for him to get back from collecting these arrows to interrogate Craventown.
Yep. I can't wait for you to walk back and interrogate him as well. Speaking of which, last we left off, the party had taken off from the humble city, small port city of Conwich, and within the northern reaches of the dynasty. You had all traveled to the city, seeking for a safe harbor from the ridiculous abandoned facility you all escaped from previously, from strange creatures. Finding some respite here within town, perhaps making a few friends, all the while waiting for the Captain Redclaw to recover from his comatose state. When he finally was roused, you were all brought to the attention that there has been a considerable bounty placed upon your heads. 100 gold pieces a head, with over 1,000 for the captain himself. With that being said, you all decided that after seeing the bounties, Dayu in particular was unnerved at the likeness of his visage on this material. And as it has been passed out here, there's a chance it may have been passed out other places. And he became worried for his family, for his farm, and decided that he would ask for Rogar, and therefore Tuk and Zaltkar, since all of you were told that you should stick together by the captain, as you would be much more of an easier target being wanted men of such caliber all alone. The four of you set out from Conwich after making a stop at a blacksmith, acquiring a favor from her, from Bors, the de facto leader / sheriff of Conwich. Dayu collected a direwolf, who was not named. The lady who owned said wolf also kept another, and Granel did not give permission for anyone else to take anything else, but Tuk decided he would tender her loins and relieve her of a second wolf as he waved off as she screamed at him in the distance. The rest of you eventually setting forward. You made it all the way about 6 hours away from Conwich. Not very far, in fact. And Dayu had noticed there was something up ahead. Someone was staking out the road from Conwich towards Port Dorona. Upon this travel, Dayu, you heard something large and voices whispering, chatting, laughing. There was the sound of a popping fire, very low, almost not visible in the snow, because it was, in fact, snowing at the time. What was going to be an ambush was turned out to not be so much so, as someone may have faltered in an animal handling check and was thrown from their wolf, their stolen wolf, I might add, springing an ambush upon the party, with Zaltkar very luckily not being turned into paste, as there was an ogre in this raiding party, and you soon realized that you were being ambushed by members of the Goblin Rebellion, the shattered remnants of what was a rebellion that has been stoked over the past 100 years or so. They were in a very poor state, and though it was a heated fight, you all proved the victor. After slaying all your enemies, mostly, and taking Slit Craven Tongue, the nemesis of Tuk, and, just roguelike entity towards the rest of the party. He was stripped of all his belongings, which there was not much, and hogtied. In so doing, Tuk took it upon himself to search his prison wallet. Finding a hidden shiv, removed said shiv, slapped Slit across the face, waking him, and then stabbed him in his own throat with his own keistered shiv. And as he bled out, blood spurting across Tuk and the rest of the environment, that is where we're going to pick right up. So, it's currently snowing. Night is quickly descending. The 3 suns of Emberfell are descending out of view. The ring is lit up. The ring of rocks that floats around the world. The stars are coming out. What would you guys like to do?
So now Craven Tongue lay bled out at our feet.
Oh, he's dead. There's blood everywhere, and he's just kind of limp.
Well, and it's almost night then. How much more travel could we make?
I will say you guys could travel a little bit further if you'd like, but if you risk too much, you will be towing the line for exhaustion. So
okay, all right. So give me 1 second here.
Rogar standing over Tuk and Graven Tongue next to Zalkar. He'll turn and look to Zalkar. And he'll say, "It is strange down here in the south." And he'll turn around and start looking at the goblins over yonder that Dayu and himself started to kill, and try to see if there's any arrows or whatever on their person. And
easily enough, I'll say this: that if you guys are collecting bodies, the ogres. I mean, Grogar could move the ogre, but is there a point, really?
Yeah, I mean, if it did have anything on it, I don't know.
yeah. I will say there. What you collect total from all these bodies and Tuk-Tuk's previous investigation check from last session, you will have collected. Let me find it. It's the wrong table. Here it is. Not much at all. You're looking at 16 copper pieces and 2 silver pieces between all of them. There are also 20 arrows and 4 short bows. There are a couple daggers as well. You look at 3 daggers. And of course the great club from the ogre, but it's sized for a large creature, Rogar. You're probably the only one who'd be interested. So what's your current strength?
16.
1 million.
Okay. I think I have it down here that you have to have a 17 strength to wield a gigantic weapon, so you wouldn't be able to really wield this effectively yet. So, but eventually.
Yeah. Nah, he's sticking with his sword.
Okay. And that's pretty much all you find. They have a couple days of food. They have about, each of them have about a single day's worth of rations that they have been kind of pattering out. So you're looking at 6 days of rations, with the rations for the ogre being considerably more than the goblins, obviously. So I'll probably give you guys 8 days worth of rations. If you guys want to try to split those up.
Yeah, so 2 apiece.
Yeah, you do 2 apiece.
I'd like to do a survival check to see if there's a good place to make camp, I guess.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a check. Now, I will say there's a small fire already lit nearby with a clearing.
Once Rogar finds the bows or everything, he's just going to pile it up, just so everyone knows. He's going to pile it up.
Yeah. That was a 10.
A 10. Okay.
Yeah.
I will keep that into consideration. You do see the fire and all that crackling. If you're looking to move away from here, I will keep that in consideration as we keep moving forward.
And now Dayu will come walking back to the fire pit.
Mm-hmm.
Probably gonna see a pile of blood.
Yep. You see the body of Slit still tied, naked, with a shiv sticking out of his throat. Blood spatter all across Tuk-Tuk. Arterial spray across his body.
What happened?
What do you mean what happened? What does it look like? I killed the bastard.
Why?
Because he left us for dead and then tried to kill us just now, tried to ambush us with a fucking ogre? What do you mean?
This was my prisoner.
Did you tell me that? I'm not a mind reader.
This man knew things and you killed him.
You know, let me know next time. But, you know, he's kind of my nemesis. He fucking kicked me in the head. He left me for dead. He called me a traitor just because I wouldn't join the fucking goblin reunion because I'm not so damn insecure like he is. Like, I'm sorry. I am emotional. Okay, I didn't like this guy. He left us for dead. He tried to hurt you guys, which are my friends. I'm sorry. You're right. We could have questioned him. But I was wrapped up in the moment. I'm sorry, Dayu.
Dayu will let out a big sigh. Disapproval.
Mm-hmm.
And then he will turn around and look for his direwolf.
Okay.
Did I find my hand axe that I threw?
Yeah, that's big enough, easily retrievable. I will say, if you guys are retrieving bolts, my 2 shooters, I will need you to give me a survival roll to collect half. If you don't pass the DC, you will collect none of what you've expended so far. So, Tuk, you don't find any of the bolts that you... well, you only shot 2 anyway. An 11?
I rolled a natural 1. Yeah.
With an 11 Zolkar, you can retrieve the 1 bolt that you shot easily enough from the ogre. You just kind of pull it out.
Rogar, once he gathers the you said 20 arrows, right?
Yeah, 20 arrows. Mm-hmm.
The 20 arrows, he kind of slings it across. If it has a quiver.
Yeah, they each had a quiver, so you could probably slot them into one if you'd like.
He'll put the arrows in a quiver. Take this little short bow, kind of put it over his shoulder if he can, fit it around his arm.
It's difficult. You're a large thing.
Yeah, he'll brings the daggers over, lays them at Tuk-Tuk's feet, assuming that maybe he might want these.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll look at Tuk-Tuk and say, Small one, can I see your contraption?
Which contraption?
He's looking at your crossbow.
Oh, sure.
And
I'll show it to him.
And I reach out my hand and asking for it. Let's take a look at it. Closer look at it.
All right. I hand it to him.
And he's looking at it.
I say, be careful.
And he, I'm assuming it's not armed right now, so it's not bolted. So he's kind of like toying with it. And he's going to take it and he's going to pull it back a little bit. See if he can lock it in.
Mm-hmm.
He looks back at Tuk-Tuk. Strange device. And he takes it and he smashes it on the ground. As hard as he can. He'll then take the short bow off of his arm and hand it to Tuk-Tuk, and then hands him the quiver. This is better for you. That was a bad weapon.
Oh God!
And then he
hurts.
Then he walks away. Walks away.
What? No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't.
All right.
Can I see your axe?
Sure.
He'll hand you the axe.
Giant 20-pound. You talking about the hand axe?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's normal weight.
Yep. He'll hand it to you.
Well, whatever. What's his primary weapon?
It's my great sword.
It's a great sword that weighs like 20 pounds. So you want to try to smash it? It's made of bone.
I'll just say that was my. Let me see your great sword.
He pulls out his great sword.
Okay.
He tries to hand it to you.
Okay, and I'm going to hold it
give me a straight
with 2
check,
hands.
Tuk.
Surely I can hold it.
Shit, it's big.
It's long.
I rolled a natural 20, and I wish I'd saved that for later, but I rolled that for a natural 20.
What's the total, though? Let me hear it.
It's a 19.
Okay, you have a negative. All right. 19.
-1, yeah.
I will say, even with a 19, you're struggling. You're like 3 feet tall. This thing is like 6 feet long. It is bigger than you. As you're holding it up.
And I'm just going to say to him, Rogar, how would you react if I took this and I said, This is a bad weapon, and I burned it right in front of you. What would your reaction be like?
I would be
That's
impressed.
what you just did.
I would be impressed that you could burn it. And then he'll reach down and grab it back.
If I just destroyed it?
And put it back on his shoulder. Do not take offense, small one. This is better for you. And then he'll walk
what if
on.
What if I said your sword was bad, and here this axe is better for you?
Why is it bad?
Oh, it's just not it's not balanced for your big ass. Why is this bad? Why was my crossbow bad? It was perfect for me.
It was slow. Made you slow.
I don't have any arrows.
You do. And he hands him
You have a
20
quiver of 20 arrows.
Oh, all right. So what is it? It's a what kind of arrow?
It's a short bow.
What kind of
It's a short bow.
Short bow. All right. Fuck. Shit.
It doesn't have a it
Just-
doesn't have a
Just so you
reloading
know,
property.
for our fans out there, I wasn't trying just to be a dick. You were missing out on a turn
It's true.
every time you fired it.
That's true.
You missed. You gained a
For
plus
now?
2. No, it doesn't matter. You gained a plus 2. You gained a plus 2 in your attack because of your light crossbow. Then you reloaded, skipped a whole turn, missed out on a sneak attack, which is a D6, and an additional attack. So you missed out on 2D6 every other round.
That's true.
You could have just explained that to me.
Rogar would not know that.
Fucking
Rogar just saw that it was a bad weapon for you, and that you could use this weapon much more efficiently. After those goblins fucked Dayu and myself up.
True, they did. Here you go, Tuk Tuk. Enjoy. This is amazing.
You're a rogue, bro.
I'm glad
Now
I
you
didn't.
get to shoot every turn.
This is so
You can shoot
scripted.
every turn, do sneak attack damage every turn.
Man.
killing me,
fuck.
Smalls.
My stomach hurts so
all
much
right,
right now.
Well, I guess I'm gonna take
That
those.
was the best role
fucking-
playing I've ever seen.
It was. I guess I'm gonna take these crossbow bolts.
Mm-hmm.
Who else has a crossbow? Anybody?
Zolkar has one.
Stalker has one.
I'll give those 18 crossbow bolts to Zolkar.
He's like, yeah. He does a little fist pump.
As Rogar walks over to Dayu, I guess he's trying to get on his wolf. He'll be like,
Don't let him touch that.
He'll
Don't touch your weapons.
he'll look at Tuk Tuk. You will thank me, small one.
All right.
And he continues on. He's going to say, I think we should move on just a little bit more. It is wrong to sleep in one's kill.
Speaking of one's kill, are you guys just kind of leaving the bodies piled up by the side of the road, or what are we doing here? Are we just leaving them?
Was their camp right by the road?
Yeah, it was. It was about maybe 10, 20 feet from the road on over the crest of a little bit of a hill.
Rogar
that,
might
Zolkar kind of came up on.
Rogar might throw. How big was the bonfire? Was it a bonfire or just small?
No, it was
campfire?
a small campfire,
Yeah.
barely visible.
Rogar might toss the small goblins deep into the brush.
Mhm.
Just, you know,
Okay.
and he's probably just gonna leave the ogre there,
Yeah.
hoping that whatever wildlife around will take care of these
Okay.
bodies.
That's
And-
fair. That's fair.
yeah.
So you guys just kind of dust your hands after all of this, and we start heading forward.
Throw the
Um,
naked,
The naked slit.
slit.
What do you do with slit? Same thing.
yeah, just look at him and just kind of like
Mhm.
stare at him a little bit and be like, "This place is strange.
Hmm.
It's not what I'm used to." And then throws him out into the woods.
Throw him out into the woods. His limp body, is meeting half piece of ear missing, and
I'll never hear him
Dying.
say someone's a bitch again. You know,
you never hear him say it again. It's gone now. I don't know. Damn, he's gone. So you toss him out.
it's emotional.
The four of you, are we still sticking to the road?
Yes.
Put it like that. Yes.
Oh, and die you.
So how much further would you guys like to travel? An hour, 2 hours?
Yes. Another hour.
Another hour?
To where we're not exhausted.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fair. You get about an hour away from where you just left that the goblin ambush, and Zoltkar, with your previous roll, you see that there's not many trees or anything in this part of Dralora, but you are getting close to what looks like a sparse bit of forest coming up. There is a very small section of the dynasty here, this close on the coast, that has a usually they are cherry blossoms, but as it is winter, they are all blue blossoms currently. And do you think that you found a decent place to make camp within the tree line?
Everyone, I think this might be a decent place for us to camp for the night, as we all get a little more tired.
And you're all able to make a camping spot. All of you have gear, I'm assuming. Camping, basically like bedrolls, things like that. You will probably need to acquire tents at some point if you want tents. It's cold as shit out here. So between the four of you, you're able to kind of make some lean-tos easily enough with kind of dead branches and things nearby that will keep you out of the snow. Now, it's not a heavy snow, but it is a light snow. So, and you guys make camp and sleep for the night. Do you guys want to post watches or do anything in the interim before the next day?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Watches. I need at least 2.
Dahlia would take 1.
Okay.
I'll take 1 as well.
And Zoltkar. All right. Who's first?
Dahlia will take his first because it's going to make, if allowed, he'll make his special treats.
Sure. Yeah. Everyone kind of lays down and prepares for rest while Dayu takes his watch. Go ahead and give me a perception test first, Dayu.
21.
21. All right. And for your treats, exactly which ones are you making?
The short rest one, so anyone that spends a hit die will get to roll an extra d8. All
right. So that's good. Yeah, you're able to easily do that. No check needed. And that is that. Your rest, your watch goes relatively uneventful, Dayu. You guys have a small fire going, crackles and pops, and you're kind of just watching out into the still darkness. Almost no clouds. Very, very, very small amount of just. It appears that the snow is just happens to be that cold somewhere up there. It's drifting downwards. You see the stars shining about, and you do hear the calls of a few birds. You hear the rustling of the bushes nearby a few times, especially with a 21. Small rodents, rabbit, at some point. But other than that, your watch goes uneventful. Yes. Which brings us to Zoltkar. Zoltkar, yes. You awaken. And go ahead and give me a perception test.
All right. Perception +4. Okay. Oh, nice. That'll be a total of 24.
24. Very good.
Yeah. So a natural 20 +4.
Good. Very good. 24. So Zoltkar, you're kind of sitting there, and when you take watch, Zoltkar, do you are you a sentry kind of out away from camp, or are you kind of sitting up? Are you in kind of a meditative trance of some kind? What do you do?
I would patrol kind of the perimeter in an aware meditation. That would be kind of a contemplative walk as a sentry around the camp.
That is fair, as you're kind of looking around. And very shortly into your watch, Zoltkar, you pass midnight, and it is the next day. And At the stroke of midnight, Zoltkar, you feel something. You feel like almost like a burning sensation in your chest. Then it goes from your chest up through your neck into your face. And you feel a little strange, and you kind of look about. Something seems a little off. You're not sure what. And then you remember. It's Keeping Day. A day sacred to your patron lady, Elysia. And you would know, Zoltkar, that it is customary on the night of Keeping Day to give your offerings to Elysia. This may be required of you. It would be optional for everyone else. But needless to say, it is a tradition, and it is one that is followed throughout the dynasty. In fact, many people observe Keeping Day because to not observe Keeping Day is to welcome the wrath of the Jailer of Secrets. So it is bad luck to not partake in this ritual. And you realize that, Zoltkar, at the end of the night, at the end of this coming night, that
before I sleep again, I'll need to.
Before you sleep again, we will need to go over this ritual that takes place.
Fantastic.
All right. And the rest of your watch, Zoltkar, similar to Dayu, completely uneventful. Whatever blunders that may have happened across the road are long forgotten, and it is a new day. You guys can take a short rest. So if you guys need to roll hit dice, you can roll an extra D8 from Dayu, which is awesome, as you get a little breakfast perk in the morning. What do you cobble together, Dayu? I'm curious.
Bought rice from the Codfather.
Yes, from Weevil.
And then if you will let Rogar hunt, if not, Dayu will try to shoot something with his bow.
I will say, Rogar, I will go ahead and give you some boar meat because you did make a point of hunting quite a bit. So Rogar will have kind of a store of it's not fresh by any means. So if you wanted to go hunting to find something fresh, you could. But he does have some cured meat that you guys could use.
I would be sure to remind everyone about Keeping Day, and
yes,
we would have this discussion about what is it there, what are their intents and offerings.
Now you would know, Zoltkar, that when that Keeping Day is it's very interesting. You are supposed to offer up a secret. You're supposed to write it down, or you whisper it into a vessel, usually made of sticks and paper. And then if you have the option, you float it out upon water and you light the inside on fire as it moves out. If there is no water nearby, you simply light it like a pyre and then let it burn away. But the most important thing is the secret that you whisper inside of it.
Kind of like the little lantern festival at the Wildwood Park. Yeah,
very similar. So, but that is not until tonight. So,
fantastic.
Would a follower of Boel, the water bearer,
yes,
recognize Keeping Day?
Now, I will say, Tuk Tuk. Saying you're a follower is not necessarily correct for you because you're not part of the clergy. The people of the dynasty observe many gods and goddesses, at least the ones that exist now. And you don't necessarily have.
But I only really observe Boel. Right?
Yes,
that's the only religion that I really loosely follow. But what I'm saying is, does that religion recognize Keeping Day? Like the priestess that we met, what was her name? Nazir. Would she do something? Put up an offering or no?
She would not. No, she would not. But she does, however, recognize specifically Boel is she's a goddess of mercy, and for that reason, she does not push away people of other faiths. So she's very understanding.
So it's up to me if I want to take part.
It's up to you. Yeah.
Okay.
If this was a different god or goddess, it might be a different story. But with Boel in particular, she's kind of very neutral.
Okay.
But if that's that,
if Rogar goes hunting, I will go with him with my new bow.
your new bow, okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to go hunting in the morning, Rogar? Yes, no?
Sorry. I know that our short rests are 8 hours.
Yes.
Does that so like hunting is not like going to exhaust me? Is that
No.
okay? Okay. If that's the case, then yes, most likely. Most of the time during his downtimes, a lot of times, he's going to hunt for the party. He's going to hunt,
Okay.
or forage.
All right. How much time do you want to take in the morning to do so?
I mean, maybe an hour.
Okay.
To
Go ahead and give me a survival roll, and I'll set the DC at what I believe would be good for that, and given this area.
Question.
Yes.
For my background for Outlander.
Yes.
You mentioned. Do I get advantage on those or?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Now I will say, I forgot about your Outlander stuff. You won't need to make a roll where there's food.
Okay.
When we get into more inhospitable areas. So Rogar, you can easily find something. Now Tuk,
cool.
if you want to accompany him and try to show him some new stripes.
My plan was to make a stealth roll, just to stealth along with him. Like he's doing the hunting, the tracking, right? And I'm just kind of there with him, and then I can take a shot if we see something.
All right, yeah. Give me a stealth roll. We'll see how well you guys pair together.
That's a 16.
I mean, that's pretty damn good. I'll roll for yes, okay. All right. I will say Rogar, bring the most primal, the most honored hunter of your party so far. We're able to stalk the land, and you do find what you think would be a delectable treat, but some of the others might find distasteful. So you find a giant wolf spider, and it kind of pokes its head out, looking at a small rabbit, and you salivate. It's huge. It's big. And Tuk might kind of in his stomach a little bit as he sees you jump on top of it. Then Tuk, do you take the shot?
Oh yeah, I shoot with him.
Yeah. Oh, you're not gonna have to roll.
Rabbit, but...
You're not gonna have to roll for it. Oh God! You kind of shoot it, and between the two of you, you manage to kill this thing. And then Rogar drags this arachnid back to camp for food. So good luck making that into treats, Dayu.
It eats.
Oh man!
He throws this 8-legged furry creature into the camp.
Interesting sushi.
Making it raw.
Oh yeah.
I will also say it is currently snowing once again today. A light snow.
Neither you got any cloak.
Rogar is basically shirtless besides his large cloak this ratty cloak that he got, I guess. Yeah.
So, with treats made, Dayu tries to make some kind of rice and spider, I guess.
Thanks.
As best as you can. It's kind of gross a little bit. You put some eyes on it for Rogar, and he just pops them in his mouth like grapes. It's disgusting to watch, but he doesn't know. And in the morning, you guys, not much time passes between that, and you're able to set out further south along the road. So I'm going to need whoever is leading, which I'm assuming was Dayu last time, to roll me a d20 for your travel.
D20. 13.
13. Okay. All right, and roll me a d8, sir.
Slit Craven Tongue's cousin attacks us.
A 3.
3. Okay. All right. You guys are moving at a pretty good pace throughout the rest of the day. You come to about noon or so, or what you believe to be noon, and you realize you have about another 5 days or so until you make it to your farm. You're moving along, and you stop for a moment, get your bearings, eat a little bit of food, a little bit of snacks, and keep going. And you get all the way to the point where it is time to rest for the night. And as this point is about to take place, Dayu, give me a perception test.
Oh, God. Oh, shit. Natural 20.
Okay. Jesus. I was about to say I'll give you advantage if you wanted to use your hearing, but you're not going to need it.
24 total.
24. Okay. With this, once again, Dayu, you hear from a considerable distance, you hear the pattering of feet, large feet. Sounds very similar to the wolf that you're riding. There is a trio of riders up ahead coming your way. Now, Dayu, you would also know, not many people ride wolves, period. The only people you've seen riding wolves have been people of higher station and or part of the Iron Legion. So I will let you do with that. Because you rolled so well, you have plenty of time to prepare yourselves or what you're going to do. You let me know. You are in a kind of, it's not very dense, but you are in a bit of a foresty kind of area. Mostly blue blossoms and dead trees and brush. So there are plenty options as far as that goes, but you let me know what you guys want to do.
Riders are coming. How far? Like 300 feet?
I would say further than that. You with a 24, you have you probably have a solid like 10-15 minutes before they come into view.
All right. There's riders ahead on wolves.
Should we hide like downwind? And then if we have to, we'll ambush them. But if not, we'll be downwind, and maybe we can just let them pass.
We are not ambushing them, but we should hide.
Yeah, downwind though, right?
Looking to.
Where did they appear to be from?
Rogar approve.
Yeah, Rogar approves. He nods at Tuk Tuk. Good ideas.
Where do they appear to be from? Like, do we know the faction?
Not yet.
No.
I'm just trying to see what you guys are doing. So
Yeah.
are we hiding?
Yeah,
Rogar
probably
is,
peel
at
off.
least.
Okay,
Peel off
yeah.
the road.
You peel off to the road
Yeah.
with between the four of you, all of your senses, especially. Dayu has sharpened senses for smell in particular, and you're able to move downwind, or what you believe to be downwind. And I'm going to need stealth checks from the lot of you.
Dayu will move like in a different position, just so not all four of us like in the same spot.
That's fair.
Just in case,
Mhm.
we get spotted.
So let's do a stealth roll from all of you.
14.
All right. Well, this will be a group check, so if somebody rolls like shit, don't feel bad.
17 for
17.
me. Yeah.
23.
Ooh, look very good. And Rogar?
21.
Very good. Wow, surprising.
Nice.
So,
I'm the pussy.
do you wanna-
All right, good deal.
Roll one for the direwolf.
yeah, go ahead and roll one for the direwolf as well.
All right.
It should be pretty good. They have decent stealth, I think.
Let me look up the stats real quick. Oof, 13.
All right, that's fine. Between all of that, you guys have a median of about that. All right, and I rolled really bad. Yep, they all rolled bad. As you guys go off to the west of the road, about 100 feet or so off of the road, you think you're pretty well hidden. You all kind of tucked down. Dayu going off a little bit further away than the rest of you, maybe slightly closer even. And as you're looking out, you see three, they look like soldiers, hobgoblins, wearing like samurai-esque armor, riding wolves. They each have a long bow draped across their backs, and a short, the equivalent of a short sword, on their hips. and they have kind of coverings over some of their face, keeping their features obscured, but their builds you can recognize as hobgoblins, and they do bear the mark of the Iron Legion. These are soldiers, and they're kind of looking around. The wolves kind of stop and smell, and after a butt-clenching moment, they patter on and leave from view, and you are unaccosted. So you are free to set up camp again wherever you please. You defeated a random encounter.
I'd like to those samurai guards to maybe perhaps be able to disguise myself if needed as them later.
Yeah, you could easily see them, and you kind of get judging by the kind of armor they were wearing, it did seem like, of course, it seemed like Legion armor, but it seemed lighter. And judging from their equipment, you could probably guess these would be the equivalent of like scouts or hunters or something like that for a bigger party.
Would that be a common sight?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Something's up.
Something might be up. So, you guys are resting for the night. Watches? Same watches?
Yep. I will at least take one.
All right, Dayu, go ahead and roll me perception.
Is anyone watching? Oh, shit. A 10.
Okay.
What were you asking?
Am I alone on this watch?
That's what I was asking.
Unless anybody else will know to be up.
Okay.
Well, so do we only get a short rest no matter what?
Short rest unless you take a 24 hours. That is a long rest in this campaign.
Okay.
So
there should be two of us up each time, no matter what. Then, right?
If you want. Now, if you stay up all night, you run the risk of exhaustion. So that's why.
Well, I just mean like if we rotate, then
you can.
It does. Like if we sleep all night, like Rogar did last time, it didn't do anything extra.
No.
So we might as well Okay. So Rogar, you want to roll, and I'll go with Zaltkar.
Okay.
I roll.
Sure. Yeah. Roll me perception.
Okay. Four.
Rogar, you are fascinated with Dayu as he's like making small treats out of the disgusting spider you tracked in yesterday morning.
It was good.
And you're fascinated.
Rogar
watching
likes
it. You're like, And you might be salivating a little bit, kind of watching him make it, and you are oblivious to anything going on. Dayu, the night
spider.
The night goes uneventful. You might be a little unnerved at the look in Rogar's eye. Kind of reminds you of when Tuk looked at Slit's prison wallet. And
wasn't there for that.
It's what you imagine Tuk looked like looking into Slit's prison wallet. So, your watch goes uneventful though, unless you guys want to talk about anything or whatever.
No, I mean, Dayu would just mention that the guards, that those soldiers were not natural, but he'll wait and probably share that again in the morning.
So, Tuk, go ahead and give me a perception roll for your watch. And hopefully we don't need salt cars. Oh, he's coming back.
Perception 16. Yes. That's pretty good for me.
Good. Zaltkar, you want to give me a perception test, sir?
Oh, yeah. Here comes a perception test for you. Oh, it's terrible. It's an 11.
Okay.
11.
Right. Man. Between the two of you, nothing else really happens. There is still sparse snow, of course. Saying almost the same night. Now, I will say, Zaltkar, it's keeping day and it's about to be over.
It's keeping day. It is. I have to make an offering.
I don't know if you want to wake everyone else up.
I will.
I will say this could have happened like during the transition period.
I think it would have. I think it would have made it. In between, right before we at sundown. Mm-hmm. Remind everyone that it's keeping day and that we should all make our homage.
We'll start with you, Zaltkar.
Sure.
This ritual that you gather some loose sticks and you build almost like a. It's almost like a box. And Do you have any scraps of paper or anything?
I do. I would have, in my alms tender, I would have a scrap of paper to make this note.
Okay. You kind of tear a piece off. Do you have ink?
I couldn't say that I carried it on purpose, especially after having been kept in the prison. So I might have to make a scratch with some char from the fire.
Mm-hmm. And I was about to say that's easily done. You take a little piece, and I would like to know what secret you are putting on this note.
I would tell my game master the secret that I would put on here would be the regret of failing my sisters in being able to save them and or retrieve their information.
Okay. Since there's no water nearby that you can tell, you just make this and you set it out and ignite it. Give a short prayer to Elysia. And does anyone else wish to partake in this ritual?
Sure.
Tuk.
Sure. I like to fit in, blend in where I can. I don't want to make Zaltkar feel, alone. He seems to want us to do this. So I'll scribble something down on a little paper. Throw it in there. You
have to make your own. Kind of very awkwardly. You're not as practiced as Zaltkar, but go ahead and give me a. Let's go with for this.
Are you there? I froze, or you guys froze. I'm not sure. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
You good?
Yeah. So I was going to write down something on a sheet of paper. I don't know what was said after that.
All right, that's fine. You're not as a practiced hand as Zaltkar, so go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check. Chances are it's going to be pretty good. Anyway, see how well you are at tying some twigs together, some paper.
Yeah, that's a 15.
Okay. Easily, you kind of watch Zaltkar do it, and you easily kind of put something similar together. What secret are you writing, Tuk? Or are you even writing one? No one knows, but
I'm writing one.
And Elysia.
I had two in mind, but for one, I'm writing down that I feel like I let down my friends by killing Slit Craven Tongue. I feel bad letting my emotions get the better of me.
Now, are they even friends though, Tuk? I mean, you've only known them a week.
For me, I have a loyalty to the people I travel with.
He's such a good kid, though,
Yes.
And I don't have a lot of friends and family. And so these people have been traveling with me. They've saved me. They're still with me. And the second thing I write is, I really liked Rogar, but it really upset me that he destroyed my weapon of choice. And I feel like he did not understand.
It's true. He probably didn't.
My feelings. And so that
it's a very long message. The second one's like written with anger.
Yeah. My feelings. I really like him. He's like my best friend, but I'm mad at him.
You push it. You put it into the kind of effigy and light it, and it burns up. And as it does, the pieces of paper kind of drift up into the snowy sky. Who knows where?
Do I feel relief? I feel like I've forgiven him.
Sure, mentally, right. Yes. You feel better. You feel like a weight's been lifted off your soul. Sure. Dayu, are you partaking?
Will the followers of Niara do that?
It's up in the air. Niara is also relatively neutral.
Probably not.
It's up to you.
Yeah, probably not.
Okay. Dayu just kind of observes. Rogar, do you want to try your hand at a foreign god?
No.
No.
You heathen.
Rogar, he'll just kind of stare at everyone while they're doing this. And
Can I try to explain it to him?
Sure.
Oh, no, I want to try to explain it to him.
Zaltkar tries to explain it to him.
That makes more sense. Yeah, do it.
And,
Try to convince him.
I would tell him, that it's an opportunity to unburden yourself of secrets that you may carry. Place them
Rogar
inside
carries
this-
no secrets. Ask of Rogar what you will.
This is new to Zalkar.
It probably
the
is.
idea of
An open book.
unburdened candor. Yes.
Mhm.
Well, friend, I see. Perhaps we may have to speak more upon our journeys. And if there's nothing that you hide, that's a new take for me. Now I go back to tending my box.
And I'm sure, even in Rogar's mind, there are things that he would rather not tell people about, things that's happened in the past, failures perhaps, that, it is what it is. He doesn't know these people. He doesn't know what this stupid ritual is.
Yeah. Rogar also is probably very unfamiliar with gods in general,
Oh, yes.
I would think. So
Extremely.
concept of a
Extremely.
god is foreign to him.
Oh, yeah.
Amu is the closest thing he knew to a god.
And that has not been brought up yet. So, regardless, though, the rest of the night's watch go pretty uneventful, with the exception of Zaltkar. Once again, in the middle of the night, you feel a rumbling upon your waist. And you check it, and no, it is not what you hoped it was. It is the stone that you were gifted back in town, because 2 days have passed.
Yes.
And you take your stone out, you hold it, and a voice travels directly into your mind as you're holding the stone. My hound, where are you?
About 2 days' travel out of the city of Conwich.
You recognize the voice as your master. And she continues. I see that you've gotten into trouble. The last mission did not go as planned.
Had complications. Yes.
It is more than just a simple complication, Zaltkar. Your face has been revealed. I will do my best, but you know that you are not well liked. There are those that would move against you. I cannot protect you from everything.
I've fallen into a group of travelers that so far can be trusted.
Are
Perhaps
they?
I can use them to my advantage.
Do they follow the lady?
They do not follow Our Lady. Some have their own path and some have no path.
Well, are they dangerous?
If they prove to be a danger, I will dispatch them myself.
Be careful, Zaltkar. Remember your training. And when she says this, there's a note of sadness.
They didn't do so good the first time out.
No. No. Just know that the next visit will not be a pleasant one if we cannot resolve this issue.
I'm committed to the cause.
I know that.
Wait your training further.
While you are away from the tower, there's a few things you could look into. There's been a sighting. A creature of some kind. Something stalking the docks in Port Verona. This is not completely unusual, but the people have been turning up with strange markings upon them. There's also been told that there's a something asking about a cult of many eyes. It's been coming up more and more. And we're afraid we do not know much as of yet. We're consulting the keepers. If you hear anything, you should let us know. I will call you again in 2 days' time. If not, it will be 4 days' time.
Okay. I will take this information to heart, and I will... the cult of many eyes.
Yes.
Kind of says to himself.
May she keep your secrets.
May you keep your secrets.
And the rock goes cold.
Do I hear him?
It is telepathic, so no.
Okay,
You do
okay.
not. You would
Just
probably
making sure.
You would probably see Zoltkar kind of hold a stone and kind of he's looking out, almost like he's on watch.
Cool.
But that is that. So,
Like
with
Jon
that,
Snow, I know nothing.
you know nothing. The next day is upon us. I'm assuming we have a similar kind of arrangement. So let me go right here for this. Let's see what we got. Okay. The snow breaks. It is just cloudy sky. No more snow. There's still snow upon the ground, of course, but no more falling. It's still cold, but the day is yours. As you continue moving downward, Dayu, go and roll me another d20.
19.
19. All right. With a 19, man, I was hoping this would come up. Roll me a d10.
Oh no!
That's not good.
Or is it?
When
5.
the DM is excited, that's a bad sign.
5. Okay. Let's do it like this. Odds or evens?
Oh shit!
Evens.
Odds? No, it's always odds.
Evens. All right. Okay. As you're moving forward down the path, you are traveling for a few hours, and your wolf stops. Kind of. And begins moving off the side of the road. And it hasn't done this before. What do you do, Dayu?
Let it go.
Okay, you're riding it, so it's kind of starts moving off to the side. But the rest of you are kind of stricken. It's a little strange. About 50 feet off the road, you hear the fluttering of wings as crows scatter as you disturb something in the brush within the kind of sparse trees that are still here, blue blossoms. And there is a corpse laying there. It appears to be a bugbear. It's been dead for quite some time. You notice that there is a few arrows sticking out of its chest. There's not a lot of flesh left. You can see it's kind of like moldy and rotten, and there's things crawling in and out of its eye sockets. Tattered clothes about it. You don't see any weapons or anything, but you do see a corpse.
Why would a bugbear be dead out here?
Does anybody want to give me an investigation check?
I mean, Dahlia wouldn't care.
Anybody good at that?
Anybody?
Dahlia just doesn't care. That it's
Anyone
out
but
there,
me.
so-
Yeah, it's a 7.
Okay. Tuk.
I've got a okay. I guess I roll. Luckily, I rolled well, so I got an 18 plus 1, 19.
19. So Zoltkar, you kind of look it over, and I'll tell you this, Zoltkar. You can tell this looks like a... he doesn't look wealthy. He doesn't look poor. Looks like this is, judging from the state of the kimono and everything, obviously he's been dead a while, but this is probably some kind of merchant, somebody passing through. You get that much. Tuk, however, gets a little more intimate. Kind of gets a little bit closer.
Know me.
And he moves to shift the body as it kind of rolls over onto its side. And Tuk, you see a familiar bulge underneath his kimono. And you kind of lift it, and there is a pouch hidden within his clothes. As you open the pouch, within it, first off, you find 9 copper pieces. And, one moment please while I look this up. And you find a small silver banded ring. There is what looks like a motif kind of on it, and it looks like a crashing of waves.
I mean, I'll
give me an Arcana check, Tuk, since I know that's what you're going for.
Well, yeah.
Zoltkar, you give me one as well.
Gosh. I was rolling so poorly earlier, and I'm rolling great now. That was a 19 plus 1 is 20.
Okay. Zoltkar, what do you got?
That's the Stripes song, I think. That's what it sounded like when Dan did it.
I think it's muted.
I think you're muted, Zoltkar.
Oh, sorry. It is a 9. Sorry.
9. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
But I unmuted.
I will say, Tuk, you can tell it's magical. In your hand, you can kind of feel it a little bit. There's something different about this ring. You could tell it's magical. Now, without someone to identify said ring, you do not know what it does.
All right.
But you can tell
when
it's
I
magical.
level up, I'll be able to know if I become a thief.
That is true. Yeah, that is true. There also is the option, Tuk. This is an old school option. You can hold a magical object and sleep on it.
Yes.
Tonight, and you might, depending on what you do, you might be able to figure out what it does.
I will do that.
You can always slip it on your finger right now and try to see what it does.
I feel like as a purveyor of fine things and magical items, that I might at least know it's magical and want to hang on to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. You have experience with collecting things in particular. I showed
the Zoltkar to look at, which he didn't really know, and so I said, okay, I'll hang on to it then.
So, all right, that is that.
That's exciting.
The rest of the day goes relatively uneventful, and we are bedding down for the night.
Day 3.
Yep. So you get 3
I'm so
more to
excited.
Go. Have we gotten to the fork in the road yet?
Almost. One more day and you will be at the fork.
Oh, Jesus.
It is like I told you, this is it's longer than it looks. And you're moving quicker because you're using the road.
That's what she said.
So.
Bada bing.
Perception?
Yes. from my watches. Go ahead and roll me perception. Dayu and Rogar.
Yeah. 23.
Okay. And Rogar?
5.
5. Dayu, once again, Rogar's fascinated with your work. Sure. Mending treats. He's enthralled. The entire
Perhaps
night.
I can have some now.
I'll hand him a plate or a little bowl.
A little bowl, kind of hand over to him. He's like,
Rogar,
just one big gulp. His huge mouth. So just kind of.
what's the best meat on the spider, Rogar?
Leg.
Yes, indeed, leg. Your guys' watches go very uneventful. Matter of fact, no snow. Outside of the dead body, nothing really interesting. So, yes.
During the watch, Dayu will talk to Rogar. So, you're looking for a green dragon?
I am. Just starts eating more, you know.
Well,
Her name is Sinsu. And
Sinsu.
he looks up and eats some more.
Well, I will help you on your quest if you help me on mine, as promised.
Agreed.
Did you know you passed the Iron Fortress on your way down?
I'm aware of this name. It's one of the few places that the children of Amu know. I avoided it because it is very deadly to the people in the north.
If it is so deadly, then why would your dragon go there?
That is something I would wish to ask her myself. She is like me, but green.
Yes, I am familiar with your kind. Well, is she big like you?
Not quite. Powerful. Sorceress. Shaman.
May I ask why you're looking for her?
My people. A calamity fell on my people. I do not know what caused this. Sinsu had been a newcomer to our tribe. For many years, she helped teach us new ways to perfect rituals and magics that the other shamans did not know. She was accepted into the tribe. When I returned back from hunting in the north, I saw many of my people slain. But Sinsu did not look disturbed by this. She stepped out of her hut and vanished before my eyes. Some spell I have never seen before. All the while, Amu did not come to our cries. Instead, I saw him fly to the south, a place he swore he would never go. I searched for both. My people cannot survive without the protection of Amu. He provides all. And
Is Amu your god?
Amu is all. This word God is foreign to me. I see the Grey One mention it often. We only know Amu. I have heard no telling of other gods before. He is my father. And continues to eat.
Yeah.
Dayu will nod and continue eating his rice.
Mm-hmm.
Silent the rest of the night.
All this talk of family has probably kindled a few memories for Dayu. Memories probably left tucked away. Memories of his wife, his daughter, the farm. Close.
Quiet life. Peaceful
That's
life.
so far. So as your watch ends, uneventful. Tuk and Zoltkar. If you guys want to roll me perception tests.
I rolled a 10.
10. Zoltkar.
Perception. That's a 13.
13. Okay.
Yeah.
Similarly, not much happens. Few creaking twigs out in the brush, small creatures about in the slightly better weather than there is than you've had the past couple days. And your watch goes uneventful.
All right.
All right. It is a new day. Let me roll once more. We are getting close, boys. We're getting close. I love it. Today, it begins to snow once again. Excuse me, not snow. It's actually more of a cold rain.
Oh,
So, slightly worse, in my opinion.
yes. Soaking everything.
Yeah, it's not good. So, Dayu, since you're leading still, go ahead and roll me one more d20.
Uh, 6.
A 6. Okay. With a 6, Dayu, as you are moving forward, you come to the fork after a few hours. The fork that you can either take south to Port Dorona, or you can take to the west towards Rorkham. You know, not far from here is a small, off-the-beaten trail used by some people that rather keep their goods off the road when they need to. And you take that trail, and you cover twice the distance you would normally. So you shave an extra day off of your travel. And you are 1 day away from being at the farm. We are getting very, very close. Watches for the night. Rogar, Dayu.
Ooh. 9.
Okay, Rogar.
17.
Okay. Moving further south, Rogar. It is still raining, by the way. Drizzling off and on. It's not a heavy rain, but it is miserable for most people, except for Rogar. For some reason, he seems okay. You spend most of the night kind of just watching Dayu, but this time something piques your interest. Out, you see there is a tree, one of the blue blossom trees, and as you're looking at it, you see that there are what appears to be some kind of plant that has kind of wrapped itself around the tree. There's thorns on it. Some kind of thorny vine. It looks strange. You've never seen anything like it, really. And other than that, you don't see anything of interest. The rest of the watch doesn't move. Just a plant, but strange foliage. And your watches go uneventful. Which brings us to Tuk and Zoltkar.
One of these watches is going to get us.
Zoltkar,
All right. Yeah. What's up?
what you got? Roll me perception.
Perception. See how this watch goes. Oh, much better. This is an 18.
18.
Yeah.
Tuk, what you got?
I rolled an 8.
An 8. All right. So Zoltkar, Tuk's kind of, he's kind of like pulling the string on his bow, kind of, he's working it. He's getting the hang of this bow, right? So he's not paying much attention. Zoltkar, you're watching, and as you're looking over, you look down and you see Dayu, kind of. Looks like he's having a nightmare.
Oh.
Dayu, you see images of of your wife, of your daughter, as you're sleeping. You see your wife the first day you met her. It's a story for another time, I'm sure. But you see her, beautiful. Your sword drawn, then sheathed, taking her, leading her away. You see her pregnant on a farm, your farm. You hold your child for the first time, a girl. Then she gets older. You work the farm, you trade, and you leave. And you never come back. And they're there waiting. And waiting. And you have a very unrestful sleep, Dayu.
Oh.
In the morning. You are not exhausted.
Oh.
But it is not pleasant, to say the least. Yes. So, the next day, Dayu, let's see how this goes. Roll one quick. Very, very fitting. The rain turns into hail.
Oh.
No.
The weather is really bad right now. So go ahead and roll me a d20.
I rolled a 1.
A 1. Okay. Okay.
Not good.
Okay. Let's see how this goes. All right. Go ahead and roll me a d10.
8.
An 8. Okay. Here's what you find, Dayu. You're getting close to the farm. Very close to the farm. Matter of fact, so close that you think that around this next curve, you're going to be there in about 10 minutes. As you go to make the curve, something doesn't seem right. There's no sounds. There's no noise. There's no animals. It seems empty. And you come across a body laying in the road leading to your house. And I will say, the road to your house is very well hidden off the path because of a man of your disposition being at least a day's ride from Port Rona on purpose. You enjoy your privacy, and this is a very private place. And yet there is a dead hobgoblin laying here. He doesn't look like a soldier. He's wearing a kind of faded kimono. Looks like he's been out in the weather for quite some time. You don't recognize him. You do see that it looks like he, at one point, had a sword on his hip. An actual sword, a katana. It's not there anymore. But does anybody want to give me an investigation check?
Yeah, I mean, I'll jump off and check for I'm checking for tattoos.
Give me an investigation check.
Not good. It's 7.
Okay. Anyone else? Tuk, perhaps?
Am I the next best investigator on this thing?
You are. I think you are. I'll be honest.
That's a 12.
Okay. So you rip open the kimono. He's not been dead for long. Maybe a day. And Dayu, you see on his right shoulder, you see a fox tattoo. And you haven't seen many people with this tattoo before. What does that say? I don't know.
I jump on the wolf and I book it.
Immediately, Dayu immediately starts running off. But Tuk, you see something else before as he's leaving. He was laying on top of what looks like a bag, and as you kind of roll him over, some stuff spills out of the bag. In particular, 12 silver pieces spill out of this bag, silver, as well as a healing capsule. And there's also a scroll inside, rolled up.
I guess as it starts to pull it out, he's taking off, right?
Yeah, he's gone.
So I'll just tuck all the stuff and
You kind of tuck it real quick. You kind of take it, and then the rest of you, I'm assuming, are moving to follow Dayu.
Yeah, Rogar, and once he sees him book it, he'll just go like, and just start running as fast as he can.
Yeah, you guys can't keep up with the wolf, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can see the direction he's going. And Dayu, you move towards your farm. There's a small gate leading in. The gate has been smashed open. The main farmhouse is not far in the distance. You see wisps of smoke from behind it. Doesn't look like the house is on fire. The barn over to your right, where you keep your ox, appears to be empty. The stall doors open. The front door, the sliding door, has been smashed in and torn, the paper shredded. There's blood all over the steps. There's blood on the entryway leading up into the house. You get all the way to the door. What do you do?
Start shouting out, Ako! Sakura!
You start shouting
I just have my
out.
dagger on me, my Tonto.
Yep, and you kind of draw your Tonto. You're looking around. You move into the house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you move in a panic at this point. The place has been tossed. There's stuff scattered everywhere. No need to make a check on this one, because you look to your left and you see written in dried blood across the wall. It says The Grove. How long are you staying here?
Does that ring a bell? Just glancing at that?
It does. As soon as you see it, visions, not necessarily visions, but memories of a life you thought you left long behind. A place you were brought when you were a child. A place where you were trained and honed as a killer. It's about a day's ride from here.
And I start searching the house.
Okay. You start searching the house. You don't find anybody as you're moving frantically from room to room. Nothing. Empty. Everything moved and destroyed. You make it into your daughter's bedroom. Same thing. Your bedroom. Empty. Stuff scattered everywhere. Your belongings just littering the floor.
Run out to like the barn.
Okay. You run around the side of the house, and as this happens, the rest of you are getting near. You see Dayu, and you're probably a few 100 feet, like a couple minutes, like you're probably more than 100 feet. You're about 2 or 3 minutes out running towards him. So he quickly sprints around the side of the house and moves towards the back. And Dayu, that's when you see a large pile before the barn out back, smoldering. As you get close, you smell a familiar smell. Bodies. As you get close, they're all charred, ruined. You recognize some of the kind of shapes These were the extra hands that helped you on the farm. Then you see most of them have been cut into pieces, dismembered. Arms, legs, heads, thrown into this pile wantonly. It's hard to distinguish one from another. But you do see a severed female arm, charred beyond recognition, wearing a silver bracelet like the web of a spider. Very similar to the one Akko used to wear. In fact, it is Akko's bracelet. You also see lying nearby a shred of your daughter's kimono, charred. There's also a spider earring laying next to it, almost like it was placed there. It was a gift from her mother. There's blood all over it.
That's all I see, though. An
That's
arm
all you
and a... And I was walking to the barn.
Yes, you haven't even made it to the barn yet.
All right. Well, I don't see their bodies yet, so pushing on.
Okay. Wishfully hoping that it was not your family you just saw burned to a crisp behind you. That is where we're going to take our first break.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Apologize.